Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Propagandacast with me, Imperial Dane, your host and master of propaganda. And today I am having for you a 1 vs 1 on Sturzdorf. Yes, indeed, we will be stürtzing through Sturzdorf, some quaint German town near the border by the Hürtgen forest, the place where so many Americans died, trying to break through. Volksgrenadiers, yes, mainly Volksgrenadiers were holding that bit of the area. But of course, the Sturzdorf area is of course a rather interesting bit, though rather urban, which of course rather means that some weapons will be less effective to a certain degree. Weapons like the Pax and Panzers, not Panzers, MG42s, who are more relying on distance and sort of denying area because, well, it's sort of broken up by all of these buildings, all of these other bits like this, for example, which rather makes things a bit harder to set up. Of course, at the same time, it's very nice for mines, barbed wire, tank traps, and all that other stuff. Fun for everyone except the opponent, who has to make his way through all of it. Of course, Sturzdorf also has the sort of hotspot right here, because this is the pretty much the shortest spot between the two bases, right here and right there, which of course means this is usually where most of the fighting is. Some can also take part here, but that's mostly due to the fact there's a strategic cutoff point and a high fuel point. The only high fuel point of the entire map, plus a victory point, does tend to mark it out as a rather important and interesting spot. But usually, again, most fighting here, it might also throw its way over here, and then occasionally also over here. But again, this is the X, not really X marks the spot, but well, you'll see. And who shall be fighting each other in the southern corner? We shall be seeing Gladamax. Gladamax the gladiatorial. Well, not really, there weren't any gladiators, but that part of the war, they were rather a feature of ancient Rome. So that's a bit off. But he is here of the 91st Volksgrenadier Division, composed from the remnants of the 91st Luftlandedivision, Division, which was rather how the Volksgrenadier divisions were composed, usually from some shattered division around the 1944 bit, where the Volksgrenadier division idea came to fore, and then they were sort of created there to sort of act as a sort of new modern division. I'll get into that, but let's have a look at our opponent. In the northern corner we are seeing Jpelko of the 3rd Armoured Division, ready to show those krauts who's the boss around here. We'll of course have to see if that happens, or if the Volksgrenadiers will still retain some of their veterans and some gusto and show those armies what for. And let us get right to it. The Volksgrenadier divisions were composed around 1944, 1945. Just checking volume, just in case. As a sort of new modern division, it was after the entire training army, which was something the Germans had basically, fell into the hands of Himmler after the entire July plot, which rather meant that Himmler got a bunch of fancy ideas, since he fancied himself a huge general, and of course he was pretty terrible at it. In particular, when the times he actually managed to get command of armies, they fared badly, poorly, terribly. But that's not the bit, though. The Volksgrenadiers were sort of envisioned as the new division, the elite sort of equivalent of the British and Soviet Guard armies, although that quickly fell short, though. Then there were sort of modern divisions, fully equipped with assault rifles. In fact, yes, indeed, they were supposed to be fully equipped with assault rifles, except for one platoon in every company. That also fell short, although some were usually equipped, although that usually came to be the Fusilier companies, which were the division's veterans, and reconnaissance troops. Some also had, but then they were mostly equipped with either submachine guns or rifles. They had a few distinct bits in here and there. They were also sort of the first divisions to really have organic sort of tank destroyer companies beyond just anti-tank guns or something like that. They actually had Hetzers, which of course was helpful, since the Hetzer was also, well, an assault gun. Of course, some just had to make do with Stugs, although the Stugs of course was not bad. But pushing onwards in the east and in the north, no combat as of yet. Rifleman and an MG42 though, setting up right here at these trestles, covering this area. Not bad, although of course here some Americans could sneak through here and do some very nasty things to this MG42 team. The Volksgrenadier divisions also had some slightly larger batteries, but they were actually short of one. Another feature that also came apart were the Volksartillerie regiments, which were sort of an attempt at creating the sort of mass Soviet artillery regiments and batteries. which of course they had seen on the eastern front, but of course they couldn't really get the same amount of artillery through, though. So that didn't quite work, but they were still impressive, I would suspect. Bike on the first, though still no Volksgrenadiers for the Volksgrenadier division. There we go, Bike, they're engaging these engineers, the engineers standing about in the road, running away so far, and pioneers are pushing towards the east, although they are not securing this strategic cutoff point. Instead they're going straight for the points, which of course won't do much if they can't take this, since they won't actually be connected. Americans moving in, riflemen, and a bit of a fun thing about the 3rd Armored Division was one of the divisions to take these most hardest casualties throughout the war. I do believe it was around somewhere 300%, yes indeed. That was just in tanks. Manpower losses, I believe, were even higher, since Germans, of course, had a tendency of losing their crews, since they were a bit on the explosive side. A bit like the T-34, although not quite nearly as explosive, plus the Sherman didn't have a tendency of trapping its crews inside, sort of take them with it. The T-34 did that, or at least some of the models did. Volksgrenadiers advancing towards the front, finally getting some Volksgrenadiers for the Volksgrenadier division. Riflemen getting close, Volksgrenadiers each taking a point. Who shall be the first to get the idea that they should not be taking points? Apparently it is the riflemen. Volksgrenadiers are still standing out in the open, oh dear, but they're not getting engaged, fortunate for them. Engineers though coming under fire from the Bike. Jolly good show, and strategic point here is currently in the hands of the Wehrmacht. MG42 advancing closer. Engineers sneaking past the MG42, rifle engaging these Volksgrenadiers who are out in the open. They didn't do anything, that's terrible. They could at least have put up some sandbags, but clearly their commander isn't the strongest either. Pioneers getting gunned down by riflemen. Oh dear, he's clearly not having an idea of what's going on around him. More Volksgrenadiers hitting the field, and some pioneers just standing about. Apparently it had 3 pioneer teams at one point, and the Bike ventured ahead, and now it's getting gunned to bits. That's not good. And making a retreat, that's good though. Volksgrenadiers here. Just a thing to note, of course, windows play an important part, and this house isn't really going to do much, since of course there are some broader sides, but as you might have noticed, there's not much they can actually do, since there's other buildings blocking that. So it's more for MG42s if you're keen on that. Better thing to do would be laying down some sandbags here, and of course turning into a strong point. Perhaps also some nice barbed wire and a nice Chianti. MG42 standing up, might be getting all these Americans right down here in this pit. Will it open up? Yes, there we go. Rifleman getting hit and retreating rather swiftly. Good show by Mr. Jpelko of the 3rd Armored Division. Captain Jpelko. Lacking his tanks. Probably swearing at someone right now over a field telephone. Bike right here. And we are seeing a Kampfkraft center going up. We are seeing mines being laid down here, rather preparing itself for a sort of assault right away. And we're also noting a medic station right here. Let's of course just briefly pause and marvel at the position of the medic station. Why marvel, might you ask? Well, it has some rather good features. One, it's close to the front. Actually, I mean, this is sort of the hot spot, and it's not far away. That's good. But that, of course, also means it's in danger, unless, of course, you place it in a manner that, of course, means the enemy can't get to it easily, and this train sort of manage that quite nicely. Either way, he'll of course have to sort of mosey in here or from here, which also will at the same time expose him and of course make it rather hard for him to find any sort of cover. So, good job there, Mr. Jpelko. Thumbs up. Returning to the fight. MG42 covering this spot. Good in anticipation of any riflemen, although these Volksgrenadiers could be doing something again. Barbed wire, sandbags, not Chianti though. Volksgrenadiers advancing in the west. Bike not getting repaired, that could be a thing to do. Veterantry on the way for the infantry. Alright, MG42 pulling back. Apparently he's expecting something in the east. I have no idea why he's doing that, as just as the Americans are launching an attack at the front. That's absolutely... Why did he even do that? And now Volksgrenadiers, yes, they are retreating, that's good. And now the MG42 will have to hold the front line, while Volksgrenadiers will have to march in. BARs being handed out for the riflemen. And this looks like we'll turn into a full rout for the German forces. There we go. The 91st Volksgrenadier Division has lost the center. That was most unfortunate and a bit dim-witted. A sniper now on the way, although I think a Krieg barracks and perhaps some grenadiers from the Fusilier Division could have company could have done better. Usually, actually, they would have had a battalion of Fusiliers, but the Volksgrenadier divisions had to cut short of those because, well, veterans were sort of lacking. And of course, also equipment. Volksgrenadiers engaging the riflemen right there. A few going down. Taking fire from the Volksgrenadiers and the bike. Heavy engagement here. Another rifleman is down. Looks like they will all be forced to retreat low on health. Oh dear, down to 2 men. Will they be all lost? No, and medics are quick to rush in. Small engagement here. Rifleman also forced back by another MG42 and some sniper action. No, that was only the one. Still, though, Volksgrenadiers are ready. Pioneers also from the Pioneer Battalion. Pioneers, of course, were slightly actuality better than American troops. Engineers, since they were expected to be more than just engineering troops, they were also expected to be assault troops. So they usually tended to be a bit more tough and a bit more aggressive and carry around slightly more explosives. That's not for now. Volksgrenadiers advancing through here with a sniper in support. And other Volksgrenadiers are doing a bit of target practice with this medic. Sniper opening up. Engineers out in the open. Volksgrenadiers running straight into the American rifleman with a BAR. Get away, get away. Sniper could also be of help. And these Volksgrenadiers are doing their best, but they could have pulled back towards some cover again. And these chaps are getting hunted down. MG42 moving into cover. Sniper, not sure what he's doing. He could have been of help. Pioneers moving in. MG42 needs to set up. Sniper retreating right through all of this. Volksgrenadiers need to retreat as well. Getting pinned down by the BARs. Come on, retreat. Retreat. Damn you, Mr. Gladamax. Retreat. Oh dear. And the Volksgrenadiers are lost. That was not happy. And apparently some more infantry veterancy. But that's not going to do much with only one infantry unit. The other one which he lost. And now the bike is standing right in front of all this BAR fire and it's getting blown to bits. That is very tragic, very unfortunate, and very bad. Riflemen holding about in the front. Also a thing to note, though, of course, again, the Volksgrenadiers weren't really sort of living up to the potential. Of course, everybody kind of realized that, so they sort of fell into sort of the same role as the Luftwaffe divisions and the Fortress divisions. Basically defensive infantry, although they were still forced into sort of attacking points. And of course the assault rifles probably would have given them a slight advantage there, although probably a bit of a waste of equipment there. But they were used offensively, in particular during the Battle of the Bulge, but also a bit up to that point though. But the 91st is currently not doing too well, not doing too sharply. And apparently Blitzkrieg being chosen. Apparently they are calling in some SS troops from some other divisions nearby, perhaps held in reserve. Or could it perhaps be some veteran troops as well, some of the most cracked troops from the Eastern Front somehow. Ready to do their best, ready to lead a Sturzdorf assault group, grabbing the best they can and leading the charge, of course. Not impossible. And looks like these riflemen are making a run for it. Engineers sneak about with flamethrowers. Germans really need to make a breakout, and apparently he's getting another MG42. He really needs something stronger. He needs something that can push out for him, and now there's a motor pool up, but it doesn't look finished actually. That's a bit unfortunate. Except for Mr. Gladamax, shortly. Running straight into MG42 fire. Sniper sniping away. Veterancy 1 for German support weapons is support teams is good, at least for the MG42. Why is that, you ask? Well, it gains a 25% accuracy bonus and a slight reload bonus as well. But generally it's the accuracy bonus you want. That can actually help and of course make it much more lethal. Returning to the fight. Rifleman running straight into MG42 fire. This is not looking happy. And Rifleman running straight into all of this. Certainly a nice start to this Monday Novice Fight, and let us switch over to Jpelko, who is now forced to retreat in the face of all of this. More MG42 setting up in the administrative building here of this small work section. MG42 setting up a nice front here, but he really needs some anti-tank assets. Now in particular, this motor pool is actually finished. Airborne apparently being set on hold for the 3rd Armoured Division. Taking this central victory point. Still no mines, no barbed wire, tank traps, or sandbags. Either of all those things could have been nice for Mr. Gladamax. Volksgrenadier is just standing about, looking very sad. And there's nothing really going on there except apparently more veterancy. I'm not entirely sure that's a good idea. In particular, not with the impending threat of Allied armor. I mean, he really ought to be expecting now after all of this. I mean, an American commander isn't going to be sticking around forever with riflemen with BARs. And even then, getting some grenadiers could also be of help. And these riflemen engineers do not make it. The last one getting shot right through the head on the retreat. Unfortunate for him. Although I'm sure the sniper is quite pleased with his shot. Riflemen advancing through here, although a bit clumped up. Could run straight into the MG42. Pioneers laying down a mine here. Riflemen getting pinned down. The accurate MG42. Fire now with Veteran 2 giving it elite armor as well. Mines are finished by the Pioneers. No, they're not. They're going to be caught out in the open. Oh dear, retreat. Retreat. Units are much more vulnerable. And there we go, retreating. MG42 needs to turn around. There we go, suppressing all of these chaps who are out in the open, clumped up. That's not good. There we go, retreating. And riflemen are reformed from this medic station. Good show there, Mr. Jpelko. And then a rifleman gets sniped. That was a bit unfortunate. A short-lived victory. Huzzah, our brethren are ready. Poof. They got Conrad. Crap. And now charging right here. Frontal assaults into MG42. Fire is not advisable. Keep that in mind. And a strafing run. Pinning down and slaughtering numerous Volksgrenadiers. Apparently he's getting fresh Volksgrenadiers who aren't managing to do much. Snipers pinned down. Riflemen are still pinned. No, engineers are now getting suppressed. M8 charging in. That could end up not good. And apparently a Krieg barracks is setting up finally, although that's awfully delayed. Again, I don't think Veterans 2 for the support teams was necessary. Again, I think a better choice was to have gotten that bloody Krieg barracks up. Apparently Panzerfaust are going to be used, but no, it hasn't gotten the armored skirts up, but thankfully the engineers managed to force away the Volksgrenadiers. Snipers though sniping the engineers. Other Pioneers nearby, and has this been salvaged? Apparently it has. MG42 in the house though, still doing nicely, gunning down with veterancy and vigor. Apparently the gunner is a bit of a veteran there, or at least the one commanding the team. Volksgrenadier is getting reinforced. Krieg barracks is up. M8 charging ahead. Completely impervious to anything that can currently be leveled against it. The fire does it no harm. Medics continuing to pick up wounded riflemen most heroically, and looks like the MG42 is getting the bloody hell out of there. More Pioneers? How many Pioneers does he have? That seems a bit excessive. In particular since he really needs infantry more than that. Volksgrenadier is apparently hiding behind this building, not wanting to get any sort of nasty surprises from an M8 raid. Not a bad idea, I suppose. Pioneers just hanging about here, singing a song about how the beer used to be better in 1941. And getting shot down by the M8. Oh dear, oh dear. MG42 providing a bit of covering fire, although that's not going to do much against the M8. Pack on the move. Panzerabwehrkanone 38. With some Pioneers again in support. Volksgrenadiers are ready. Charging ahead with some more MG42. Pioneers sneaking about. Not sure why they are making some moves in the east. That could again sort of force out Jpelko. And of course that's always to an advantage. So keep that in mind. MG42 sitting up in a nice covering pattern. Fanning out slowly. Although he needs infantry to scout out from... Oh dear. He's keeping the infantry behind all of this. Now the MG42 is setting up in a nasty exposed position. And riflemen could sneak in through here. And yes, there we go. Flanking though. All of these are running straight at it and getting gunned down. Pioneers and Volksgrenadiers moving in to secure the flank. Or are they? Sniper though doing a bit of nice job there. And M8 coming under packed fire. Panzerabwehrfeuer. And the M8 might not make it. No, the pack misses. The pack misses. I'm sure the gunner curses his luck. Rifleman forced into retreat, while the rest are still hanging about. Charging ahead right into the flamethrower, though that's not good. Just like you don't want to charge into anyone equipped with MP40s. Engineers, though, might be lost. No, they make it out there. Volksgrenadiers need to retreat. Retreat, damn you. And now it's Stu 42 Sturmhaubitze 42 being called in. Could have been a mix-up in the dispatch of assault guns, I suppose. Or at least heads of replacements. Instead, they got a Stu 42. Volksgrenadier team was lost. Unit preservation. Again, I cannot stress it enough. Unit preservation. Know when to retreat, and that definitely needed to retreat a lot earlier. MG42 trying to cover. Volksgrenadier holding the line, but again, A lot of barbed wire and sandbags earlier could have made things a lot easier for Mr. Gladamax, who's now pushing towards the east with his pioneers. Stu 42 pulled also there. Oh, I'm not sure why. MG 42s and pioneers doing a bit of reinforcement and gearing up at the base.
Reserves are now available.
Pack covering everything at the front. Medics continuing to pull in the wounded. Might another rifleman team get ready. So far, 5 rifleman teams. That's certainly a lot. Could perhaps be time to upgrade the supply yard. And the anti-tank gun is firing away at the Stu 42, convincing it to pull back. And there we go. Another rifleman team giving Mr. Jpelko 6 rifleman teams at the moment. Jolly good show. Germans are pushing onwards in the east. That's good, although the Americans are pushing onwards in the east as well. Harassment and counter-harassment. Looks like the harassers will be... Oh dear, the rifleman hit a mine. Much earlier positioned by the pioneers. Good show there. Apparently I forgot about it. Although these pioneers really need to get out of there. Get out of there, Pionieren. Now. And too late once more. That's not good. Sniper sniping away. 20 kills so far. That's certainly a nice job there. I'd certainly believe he's earned himself and now. Pioneers hanging about, lounging about with a flamethrower, perhaps lighting a cigarette. MG-42 hold up in this barracks, gunning down a few Americans. M8 moving in to put a stop to that. There we go, opening up on it, exposing the MG-42 gunner. And there we go, MG-42 gunner is down, another cylinder to replace. Germans advancing through here, setting up there. Oh dear. I can't help but feel that's a bit exposed, but the M8 is once more coming under fire. Or is that another M8? Anti-tank gunners getting sniped. M8 barely makes it out of there. Rifleman charging in though. Could clear out this anti-tank gun if not for the Stu 42 opening up. Hitting only one rifleman, but another shot could do it. And looks like sticky bombs have been prepared. And a nice shot killing almost the entire team. Another sticky bomb. Another. And the riflemen are almost dead. Another team moves in. Tries to flank about, perhaps waiting for another sticky bomb to be prepared while the pioneers were repairing it. MG-42 running a gauntlet of death. Oh dear. And there we go. Another sticky bomb off from the Stu 42. MG-42 lost. And the Stu 42 survives. Destroyed engine. Pack moving about. Sniper though, cut sniper rifleman. There we go, only one left. Very little health. Pioneers move in to intercept him and shoot him in the groin. Good shot. The American rifleman's weakness, his groin. Well, pretty much anyone man's weakness when it comes to submachine guns. And repairing Volksgrenadier hanging about, perhaps hoping for protection. I'm not entirely sure why though. Needs to press onwards once more. BAR left behind there. Still not a lot of infantry to sort of replace the lost ones. Perhaps some grenadiers would be of help. Some fusiliers of the Fusilier Company. Medics getting gunned down. Stu 42 getting repaired. No, he's getting a half-track. Mittlere Schützenpanzerwagen. Apparently something they managed to scavenge somewhere. Or perhaps fix, who knows. By that time the supply situation was a bit curious. Could have even been an accident. But who knows? Riflemen though charging in from the front. Stu 42 could provide some countering fire, although the anti-tank gun could do some nasty things. Sniper caught out in the front. Oh dear, retreat, sniper, retreat! And the Stu 42 does the wrong thing. He turns around instead of facing them onwards. Oh dear, now he has to retreat. Although looks like the pioneers managed to get into the half-track, manning its guns, gunning down the riflemen, suppressing them. Good shot. Although the anti-tank gun continues onwards, hoping to get the Stu 42. Although it is awfully close to the front line. Still not a lot of infantry. They're all trying to reman that anti-tank gun, but are cleared out. And grenadiers are in fact there. Veterancy 3. Not entirely sure why he wants to do that right at the moment. He needs troops, not veterancy. And veterancy 3 costs 300 manpower and 70 fuel. He could easily have gotten another veterancy 2 grenadier team for that. Plus more. That's not good. Or at least some veterancy for his armor. That would also have done a lot more. Decreases damage by 25%. But the 91st is clearly not too experienced. Its commander perhaps chosen on other merits than actual competence. Perhaps how much Chianti he gave to his commanding officer. Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers getting reinforced. And let us switch over to Gladamax once more. Gladamax, the Gladamaxial. Now with a mortar team on the way to bombard the American position. That could certainly do a bit of job. Nice job there. Pioneers continuing here in the east. Lots of munitions. He could be laying down lots of mines here or there. Anywhere. Mines, damn you. Minen. Advancing through here. Stu 42 firing away. Not doing much though. Mortar team setting up right behind some rubble. Stu 42 needs to move a bit about. This piece of shrubbery is doing some fun thing to its actual hitting anything chances. M8 taking fire from the Stu 42. Anti-tank gun being recruit. And dual Panzer shakes on his Grenadiers. Oh dear. Not using it to actually deal with infantry. That's going to end up badly, I fear. And the M8 is actually lost. Volksgrenadiers need to retreat. Grenadiers need to advance and keep those riflemen at bay. And the Stu 42 needs to bloody well move. Pioneers advancing, getting ready to repair, and apparently it's finally managed to blow away this piece of hedge, and it gets knocked out, but not before it managed to kill 4 riflemen. M8 dropped behind, some Grenadiers could pick that up. No. That was stupid. Mortar though continuing to fire away so far. Not a lot of kills, apparently that was it that managed to knock out that M8. Interesting. Continuing forwards, Panzer flying at the anti-tank guns, grenades as well, and getting suppressed by some suppressive fire from those BARs, and anti-tank gun cleared out by the mortar finally. Half track needs to be crewed by some Pioneers. Volksgrenadiers advancing, could pick up a BAR. Sherman at the front. Jpelko has called in armor. And he responds by calling in another Stu 42. Oh dear, they aren't meant for taking on tanks. Still no one is picking up that BAR now. And we are seeing some mines there, but still a lot more munitions that could be used to that purpose. And these Pioneers need to... And then they are retreating. Stu 42 advancing. Riflemen taking quite a bit of fire. Could be lost. And we are seeing Blitzkrieg. I mean, it's good, increases movement rate and rate of fire. In fact, most weapons, but... I mean, tanks are mostly the beneficiaries of this. And there's currently only a Stu 42. And... he moves it up close. Why on earth? That is terrible assault gun tactics. You do not move them up like that. They are not tanks. They need infantry support. That's just bloody stupid. And that Stu 42 will surely feel the wrath of the Americans for its commander's bloody stupid mistake. Mortar though continuing to fire. Could knock out that anti-tank gun once more. Anti-tank gun itself is a bit too exposed there, I feel.
We are losing territory.
Mortar rounds landing, hitting nothing for now. Setting off a mine. Volksgrenadier moving in, flanking the engineers as they're trying to make an assault rifle. Stopped by the mortar rounds. Snipers knocking out the anti-tank gun, but they need to deal with these engineers, in particular those with the flamethrowers, and apparently they all retreat. Interesting. Still not a lot of infantry. No medic station to sort of help with that either. No salvaging of Stu 42 or half-track munitions. No anything. He really needs to become better at using all of his tools available, in particular all that munitions he has lying around. And Sniper up now to 37 kills. That's at least one thing he's doing right, to say the least. Pioneers advancing. These chaps are apparently hanging about here. And now the sniper needs to get out of there. He's rather exposed. 39 kills though. Get out of there. Oh, retreating. Apparently he makes it. MG42 moving in, but needs to set up. Why? You need to be careful with setting up. Generally, though, you do not want to be setting up that close. I mean, if, let's say, at this stage, you know your MG42 is there, you know riflemen are there, set it up there. Do not move it forwards. You're going to risk the rifleman run right up to it and knock it out. Keep that in mind. And still, he hasn't picked that up. BAR. Picked up that BAR. Oh dear. Rifleman getting down. Certainly a bit of novice fighting here, of course, which is rather why this is the Monday Novice Fight. Grenadiers now. Another Grenadier team. This is good. Finally getting some more infantry. Finally getting that sort of minimal free infantry teams bit. Mortar firing away. 9 killed so far. Sherman firing away at the front. Panzerschrecks could do a bit of damage. Anti-tank on getting recruit. Volksgrenadiers need to retreat. And that BAR needs to be picked up now. Mortar rounds landing. Anti-tank guns firing. Panzerschreck as well. Could this German be knocked out? No, apparently it makes it. Grenadiers instead are getting killed. They need to retreat, and only one is left. Panzerschreck has been dropped. Retreat, retreat. And now all of this is rather exposed. Anti-tank are once more cleared out because there's nothing covering it. And Grenadiers launching an assault, throwing all the grenades, forcing all of Jpelko's forces into a retreat. But still, the damage is terrible, and this is not really good tactics or strategy. And now this MG42 is just standing about in a stupid position. Whew. And I do believe it's time for the mid-game analysis here for the Monday Novice Fight near the Hürtgen forest. So what is the situation? Well, currently most of the victory points are in the hands of the 91st Volksgrenadier Division, but most of the territory and certainly most of the units are in the hands of Jpelko, who certainly is also retaining the initiative because Mr. Gladamax is barely using any infantry. He's using Stu-42s against a Sherman, not good. And he really needs to get something beyond Grenadiers, though. He needs some armor. He needs proper armor, not assault guns. At least if he is getting assault guns, get a Stuk 4, not the Stu-42. And he needs to secure this line properly. He needs to lay down mines properly, and he needs to stop wasting blitzkrieg when there's no use for it. So there you go. Jpelko on the other hand just needs to keep up the pressure, and eventually the German commander will simply crumble under it because he can't really keep up with this rate of attrition. It's simply irresponsible and stupid. So let us return to the fight as the 91st Volksgrenadier onwards. And there we go, Rifleman charging ahead once more. Sniper firing away. 44 kills. Certainly a sniper ace right there. Oh dear. Negative cover. Do not stand out in it. In particular, not with your snipers. When you're facing riflemen with BARs, that's just begging for a sniper to be killed in a stupid accident, just as we saw there. My god, he just managed 44 kills and then his commander loses him in an absolutely disgraceful manner. I wonder if he's beginning to feel the draft off the Eastern Front on his shoulder. And apparently just continues equipping his Grenadiers with dual Panzerschrecks. Oh, come on. Don't you ever learn, Gladamax? Apparently not. Nothing still going on. Let us speed things up a bit. Nothing going on. Just medics getting blasted to bits by Panzerschrecks.
Forward supply lines are broken.
There we go, finally a bit of engagement once more, but he's leaving all of this exposed, his anti-tank gun and his mortar, while his entire force goes off to deal with a few riflemen, and that's not having an idea of what's going on. And then there we go, clumped up troops, strafing run, huge casualties. Do not blow up your troops, in particular not when your opponent has airborne doctrine. That's just asking for them to get strafed and killed, and now more Shermans are hitting the field, and the anti-tank gun is exposed. No. Volksgrenadiers moving in right into the front of the Shermans. Pack 38 firing away, hoping to do something, but it simply can't do enough, and the Shermans have it surrounded. MG42 team is also lost. What are you doing, Gladamax? What are you doing? Your tactics are absolutely terrible. Sad. And now he's just moving his Stu-42 towards the east, while the Shermans are getting ready to assault the base. There's nothing to actually protect except a lot of Panzerschrecks. Again, I can't help but feel he's been misusing his resources rather grotesquely. Not really getting the idea of what's going on.
We are losing ground.
Let us speed things up
Supply
once
lines are
more.
broken. We have territory out of supply. Ready, Grenadiers?
Mortar firing. So far 16 kills. Grenadiers moving towards the east. Stu 42 just marking about. Not sure what he's doing with it. Certainly not good usage. Again, you generally wanted to point in the facing of where your opponent might be coming from, not at the wall. It's not a tank. It doesn't have a turret. It needs to turn itself around. That takes time. You generally don't want that time, because that means more shots towards the rear. Could be drawing the Americans to him. Yes, there we go. Clearly he's expecting that, and Grenadiers are now standing out in the open. Stu 42, of course, unable to turn around because he's marking about with it once more. He's not having it in the expected react. He's not expecting what's going to happen, or what did he not expect the American counterattack? Stu 42, they're firing, strafing run. Grenadiers taking heavy losses. Another team is also pinned down, but they still have full troops. Volksgrenadiers are, and they are all retreating. Stu 42 left behind, and he's moving it forwards. What is he doing? Oh dear. Another anti-tank gun has been prepared. Still not a single soul has picked up the BAR. Although that one seems to have been picked up. That one was here. Stu 42 just moving about. Engineers taking heavy losses from the Volksgrenadiers, and the medic station is still standing.
Germans are moving in.
Although Jpelko has lost one infantry team. And a grenade dropped out at these Volksgrenadiers, killing all but one. Oh dear. Again, I don't think Gladamax has a great grasp of tactics. Lots of Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers hanging about here. So apparently he's getting more Grenadiers, but again he needs something a bit heavier. Something which doesn't just get gunned down. And oh dear, he's losing more Volksgrenadiers. Apparently he's been training a lot more Volksgrenadiers, and he's just losing them in large numbers. Now that's terrible. Absolutely atrocious. Hang on. And he's used his manpower blitz to do so. God damn it. Rule of thumb, if you're using manpower blitz, don't use it to get a lot of Volksgrenadiers and then throw them away. That's just a waste of resources and manpower. Another anti-tank gun is lost. Another moved in. He's just absolutely irresponsible in his manners, his tactics and strategies. There's absolutely no coherence. And now he's... oh dear. And this German's of course moving in. Pack still continuing to move. Stop moving it, mate. And he yet continues to just move it. Fine, he's starving it. German is lost, but the Stu 42 is as well. He needs to stop equipping his Grenadiers with dual Panzerschrecks and keep them free for fighting infantry, and he also needs to stop losing all of this. He needs to spread out those anti-tank and salvage ammunitions and stop being such an ass. Securing this western victory point. Jpelko continuing. I mean, Gladamax has done some things alright, but in the end his tactics just fail him, and so does his strategy. Just terribly. Riflemen advancing, gunning down these Grenadiers. Standing out in the open.
Enemy movement here. Looks like infantry.
Jpelko certainly could do good by moving through here and seizing some territory here, but apparently he's not doing it. Mortar continuing to fire away from somewhere. There we go, 21 kills. Good show. Riflemen taking damage. No further shams on the way. Supply drops being called in though. Lots of fuel.
Krauts have cut forward supply lines.
Looks like a major assault is being prepared here, and looks like an MG42 has fallen into American hands. Yes, indeed, that's not good for the Wehrmacht. The 91st Volksgrenadier Division. Riflemen advancing. Grenadiers are suppressed. German taking a rear shot. Don't move them rearwards towards the enemy. That's always a good thing. And looks like Grenades are being used, but the Americans are retreating. And what is this? Smoke. He's using smoke and a strafing run, although again, don't use a strafing run if you're using smoke, but still this is actually good. Why is that? Well, usually if you're wanting to attack in a position and there's absolutely no cover on the way, you're usually in a lot of trouble. But you can then use smoke, which of course obfuscates the defender's line of sight, makes it a lot harder for them to actually fire and do damage, and of course allowing you to get close. Although of course it also makes it harder for your planes to hit them. So don't send in planes if you call in smoke. I mean, your flyboys need to actually be able to see the target, mate. Otherwise, good move there, and that's certainly going to quickly end the Wehrmacht positions, which of course are not prepared at all. Grenades being thrown. Heavy losses on all sides. Oh dear, another Volksgrenadier team will be lost. Assault grenades being used right, and the riflemen landing into the amongst of them. And more mortar rounds continue to fall in. 2 mortar teams, in fact. A small mortar battery. And these grenadiers need to retreat. Retreat. God damn it. Gladamax, retreat. Well, I would say it's off to the eastern front, but I can pretty much guarantee after this, it is off to the eastern front with you. Mortar continuing to fire, though. I mean, he's been able to use his support teams quite well, but he's not really been able to move beyond that, and that's really his problem. That and his unit preservation, which is absolutely terrible. And grenadiers now being lost as well.
Enemy unit down.
Lost in an absolutely pointless fight.
Infantry squad reporting.
MG42 gunning away. Apparently managed to kill something.
Crowds aren't too damn happy about it.
Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers marching in. And apparently Jpelko isn't expecting a tiger. That's not a bad assumption. Does he have one ready? No, but he might be close. Sherman's advancing. Apparently a replacement one has been sent in for the 3rd Armored Division. And a mortar round deluge right at the Volksgrenadiers out in the open. Assault grenades being used at the riflemen. Grenades thrown at the Grenadiers. Heavy losses for all. Volksgrenadiers fine, retreating in time. That's good, but these Grenadiers might not last long enough since they're under the dual barrage of 2 mortars. And apparently they managed to take it, but they need to retreat. There we go. And apparently the German mortar is firing away at some of the American mortars. There we go, lost to the time, and 27 kills. Good show, Gladamax. At least you're doing that right. MG42 still hanging about here. Riflemen securing the eastern victory point. Still not a lot of infantry.
Objective secured. Rifle squad defending.
Right. Grenadiers and MG42 heading towards these once more, leaving this spot open. That's not good. No victory point for the 91st Volksgrenadier Division now. And MG42 sitting up here. Grenadiers securing this point.
Point is ours.
And MG42, no, it's not sitting up there, but apparently there's a 30 caliber being prepared to set up to watch. That is good. Very good, in fact. And another rifleman team has been recuperated from this medic station. That's very good. Otherwise, nothing at all. Let us speed things up once more.
We have the point.
And the pack is exposed. Grenadiers, Volksgrenadiers though, using assault, forcing away the riflemen, and tanks moving in, clearing out the MG42 gunner here. Oh dear. And the mortar is exposed. Oh dear. He's once more exposing his support teams. Oh dear. And 31 kills. And he loses it. Again, unit preservation and tactics and how to combine things does not really seem to enter into his mind. Speeding up once more. And looks like a Stu-42. Again, I'm not entirely sure he's grasping the situation. Pack firing away, not doing a lot of damage. Grenadiers firing away what they can.
We are losing a sector.
And apparently another assault and another 50 munitions wasted. Let us look over at him. Had he been saving up instead of just making a lot of assaults. Oh dear, hit by a mortar round and another assault wasted. In fact, that's 100 munitions. I mean, had he been saving that, he could have gotten another manpower blitz very soon. Stu 42 moving in. Things are not looking very good at all for the 91st Volksgrenadier Division, which seems to have gotten an awful lot of Stu 42s, but no assault guns otherwise. Nothing to actually deal with the tanks, which is what they rather need. No headsets and a lot. And hitting all these riflemen nicely clumped up. That's good show by the Stu 42, though no armor veterancy. And looks like the Tigers finally prepared. Sticky bomb goes on the Stu 42. And apparently the crew is wounded. Most tragic, Helmut. And apparently this American mortar is also exposed. Again, be careful with keeping your support teams exposed. You want them behind something, usually your infantry, not at the front. But apparently the mortar survives against all odds. And these grenadiers are getting ambushed with a grenade. There we go. Heavy losses, or at least one loss, and the rest are heavily wounded. They need to retreat. Grenades being thrown, but that's not going to do it. Oh dear, retreat. No, no. Oh, balls. And these Volksgrenadiers still haven't retreated. Not good at all. And again, he's sort of moving his pack about without having a clear idea of what to do. And now it's getting knocked out by the Shermans, just rolling past it. Stu 42 firing away, doing a small bit of damage, but really it's not meant to be taking on Shermans, in particular not upgunned ones. Oh dear, this is not looking good at all. Let us speed things up again, and let us probably watch how he throws away a Tiger. There we go. A bit of engagement here. Grenadiers forced into a full... No, they're not forced into a full retreat, but they're not looking good, although they have finally managed to get some cover. Tiger moving in. Schwerer Panzer. Called in from somewhere. Probably moving in. It's 88mm gun. Could turn things around. It could kill something. Opening up on the rifleman. Oh dear, not hitting. And no veterancy for his armor. Oh dear. Panzershek opening up. Heading the rear. Sticky bombs going off. Don't know. Shermans are reacting to this. Although there we go. More sticky bombs going off on the Tiger. Panzershek's also moving in. Grenadiers are being lost. Oh, bother. And the Tiger just continues its mad charge, realizing its commander has sent it on into a suicide mission, wasting it for the fatherland or his own vanity, I know not. And Shermans just continue to hunt down the wounded Tiger, unable to do much. Sticky bombs continuing to cover it. And now it is immobilized. Oh dear, and the Shermans are moving in for the kill like hunting dogs. And everything but the main gun is destroyed on the Tiger. There we go. In fact, and the Tiger is lost. And the 91st Volksgrenadier Division has suffered a heavy blow today. The small town covering the entrance to the Hürtgen forest has been lost. The 91st Volksgrenadier Division is forced to retreat, pull out, having wasted quite a bit. Most tragic, most bothersome. But there you go. So of course this was the second Monday Novice Fight. Hopefully you saw something interesting and I hopefully enjoyed it. Of course, what can we learn from this? Well, I mean, he did alright with his support units. I mean, he got veterans before the submachine guns. That's good. His sniper was quite terrific. 44 kills. Brilliant. But again, he was very bad with the whole cover bit, and that in an end lost him the game. I mean, pretty much cover. Use it. And he could have laid down so many mines, yet he wasted it instead on blitzkrieg assaults, which did nothing. Assaults grenades, which did nothing. I mean, mines could have done more. Barbed wire, sandbags, tank traps. Use it, mate. And of course, we saw some good medic station placement. I mean, I don't know how many rifleman teams it managed to pull together. That was great. Sherman's use also good. And of course, the mortars, anti-tank guns, nice there as well. But really, the German commander really needs to strengthen his play. He needs to get his act together, and he needs to stop throwing away his troops. That was really his main problem. He didn't know when to retreat, and at other times he didn't seem to know what to do at all, because he just moved in units that weren't meant for attacking at the front, but meant for supporting the combat troops, and that just didn't work out. Anyhow, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? And we'll be returning to hopefully some stronger plays tomorrow. This is Imperial Dane saying remember to use cover, damn it. Cheers.